First thing we're going to do tonight is do a couple of public hearings. First public hearing is on a change of telecommunication law. So if anybody would like to stand and address the board, we put this in the paper and tell people they can come in and look at the change in the law. So if anybody would like to address the board, please stand, state your name, and speak to the board as a whole. Anybody like to address the board? Okay, we'll close the first public hearing. Second public hearing is on a change of water and sewer. And that basically was to change some language to clarify a couple things in our water and sewer law. Again, we put it in the paper and it was up for review for anybody that wanted to come in and take a look at the change. It's a very minuscule change, but anybody like to address the board on the updated law? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. All right, before we start the official meeting, I'd like to do some presentations, if I could. Got a few of them to do tonight, so bear with me. First presentation, I want to do this in front of the boys because I wanted them to kind of let them know what the town does and what people do for the public, and get an idea of how nice it is for people to stand in. And our first presentation tonight is going to go to Mr. Richard West, who generously donated his time. Well, didn't donate, I mean, we paid him. But we were without a council person when Chris Latchmore became judge. And the board decided we would like to go after somebody that had some experience in the past. And Mr. West was a prior council person probably 10 years ago. And, or so, right, Nick? Is that correct? About 10 years ago?
Closer to 20.
Well, 20? Anyway, we asked if he would generously fill in for us, and he said yes, only for the year, and we really appreciate his time and effort. So we have a certificate of appreciation. It says the Chazy Town Board would like to thank Richard Dick West for his time as town council person. Your dedication to your community is greatly appreciated. And we thank you for filling in, Mr. West.
Well, we thank you.
Our second presentation is going to Mr. Leo Oliver. I don't know if a lot of you know, you probably saw it in the paper, but Mr. Oliver was a retired state trooper, and after he got done being a state trooper, he decided that he'd like to become town clerk for Chazy, so he's been doing this for 24 years. And tonight is the last official meeting. So we want to present him with a plaque, and it says, "Congratulations, the Chazy Town Board and its residents would like to recognize Leo Oliver for 24 years of dedicated service as its town clerk. We appreciate all that you have done for your town and wish you many years of happy retirement." And we also have a card for you with a few extra dollars because we know you're going to need it, Leo. But thank you for serving, Leo, and the town appreciates it very much. Okay, the next one is going to the Chazy boys soccer team. And we would like to congratulate you tonight and recognize you. It says, "Congratulations, the Chazy Town Board recognizes the Chazy Central Rural School boys soccer team as co-champions of the New York State Class D Soccer Championship held on November 17th, 2013. Your community is proud of your accomplishment." This is for you boys and Coach McCullough. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Well, thank you for this, but I just want to say, I'm very proud of these boys and what they did this year, but, we won this state championship on their skill and ability, but we also won it on because of the character that these boys are. And it is, and I think Staub made a good choice of these boys getting to see people who also serve, but also are here because of great character like Mr. West and Mr. Oliver. And it's good for them to see. I think we won a state championship on caring about each other and about character. That's why we won. And I think in many ways, you know, those two men here, you know, our town thanks you because of your service, but also because of your character as well too. So I think we have a connection here, I think, in some ways. But thank you.
Thank you.
And we want to do a special presentation tonight too, for Mr. Rob McCullough. With congratulations, the Chazy Town Board recognizes Mr. Rob McCullough in being the first NYSPHSAA boys soccer coach to win 7 state championships. You truly are a Chazy legend. And that's all the presentations tonight. We thank you guys for coming.
One step.
Oh,
We have one more presentation while everybody's here. This is congratulations to Chazy Town Board and its residents would like to recognize Staub G. Spiegel for his dedicated service as our town supervisor from 2005 to 2012. We appreciate all that you have done for our town, and I've enjoyed working with you.
thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I know some of these guys got to get off to basketball
I
practice.
understand. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Okay, so we'll open the regular board meeting. Somebody like to make a request to accept the minutes from the last quarter?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Councilor Devens made a motion that the minutes for the 11/7/2013 regular town board meeting be approved as submitted by the town clerk, seconded by Councilor West. Roll call, Councilor West.
Yes.
Councilor Devens.
Yes.
Councilor Vino.
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes. This time we will open up the floor to public comment session. If you would like to address the board on any subject, please stand, state your name, and discuss what you would like to say.
I put in a complaint the other day about a problem on Stratton Hill,
What's your name?
Lori Provost,
Just we have it on record. Thank you, Lori. What's your address?
496 Stratton Hill.
I did receive your complaint, but go ahead and tell the board this.
Okay. It's been an ongoing problem. There's a gentleman that lives diagonal from me who owns a business. It's K&L. K&L Boat Repair. And the music goes on 24/7. I know we don't have a noise ordinance in Chazy, unfortunately, but something has to be addressed. It's music 24/7. It's fireworks. I mean, this has been going on for 3 years now. And I don't usually complain. I never complain. You never hear anything. We've been there for going on 30 years in that same location between 506 and 496. And I have 3 young grandchildren. My in-laws are in their 80s. We can't deal with it anymore. We've called the state police. We've been over there to talk to them. We just can't deal with it anymore. Something has to be done. Whether you guys send the code inspector, anything. I don't care what it is. Because if not, there's going to be a problem that's not going to be pretty. We just can't do it. No more.
What do the police say about it? Because normally after 11 o'clock at night, you're supposed to.
All they tell us is that they're gonna ride by and check it out. I mean, these guys literally have parties all the time. There's traffic all hours of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They get out in the middle of the road, they back up 2 trucks together, hook chains on, and they try to see who can pull them the fastest.
But do the police go and call them?
They'll go over there, and the minute the police leave, they start right back up again. And you can tell whether it's him doing it. If it's him doing it, the music goes on till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If it's her doing it, she'll start it up at 10 o'clock at night, and she'll start it off at 5 o'clock in the morning. He has to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. My in-laws are so shaken up, it's pathetic. He's had open heart surgery, he's had a pacemaker put in. I have sleep apnea, so I'm up, all hours of the night anyway. I don't sleep. My 3 grandchildren refuse to sleep in their bed. They sleep with their father and mother all night long now. They won't sleep in their own bedrooms.
Okay, Larry, we'll address it with the codes officer and the state police, and we'll see what we can get done for you.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to address the board? We'll have, anyone else you
Yep, got a couple things, first of all, congratulations to Leo. I think the plaque was great. Dick, I've been around a couple of years, but I've enjoyed you here on the board, and Staub, I think the bar's been set, Jerry and you guys can have your hands full, there's a lot of changes coming on here. But on a good note, the budget for the county is, we're about ready to adopt it. The tax rate's gonna stay the same, at $6.07, which it was at last year, which is a 0.08% of an increase. We've done a very good job of working with the sales tax. We took another $90,000 out of the tax stabilization fund to keep the tax rate where it's at. And I think if you get a hold of Greg soon, he's not gonna give you a definite number, but there should be a small check coming over and above what the anticipated sales tax would have been for the year. I've been holding on this long, we've been thinking it all along, but I wasn't gonna say it until I knew it was coming. So, again, I've appreciated you guys. I think you've got a good working board, and you've set the bar so that these guys should transition in very smoothly. But again, thank you, and if you've got any questions of me, let me know. But thank you.
Now, how did you set the sales tax rate for next year? What did you guys budget? Did you leave it the same?
I think if we increase it very, very small, it's, those figures, we've been very lucky. There's only a couple of counties in New York State, and it's not, Billy, you can back me up, it's not border counties. Saratoga County's done well, we've done well, but there's some other border counties that have not done well. And I know, those are things that, it may not be there next year, but, this is the time where there's money there. We've said, I think you pick up the newspaper and you see what some of these other towns and counties, they're in big trouble, and we're very, very fortunate to have the sales tax that we have here. But, I think we've done a good job at the county of maintaining what we have and keeping the growth, but just, trying to be able to work with the increases that we have. It's tough all over. We've heard it, you've heard it. I sat here last year and I felt bad for you guys because it was the first year of not having the YF tax money, and that's huge. And I think you guys did a great job this year also. It's not as great as we think it is, and as long as that money's there to hold it. But to answer your question, Jerry, I will look. We might have raised it slightly, but not much. I just don't know. We're in uncharted waters here for the sales tax that we are receiving. Of course, going to town the last couple of days, everything looks great, but it's not that way. And you see it in your business.
Well, the last couple of years you've held it. You haven't increased your projection, have you? I thought you kind of kept it.
I would say, I can only talk for the last 2 years. We increased it this year, and being above the forecast, this is great. And I'd much rather see sales tax than property tax. But, like I said, we've held it as long as best we can, and that's why I suggested that we move the $90,000 out of the tax stabilization to keep the tax rate. We're only looking at 3 or 4 cents, but if it's one thing you can tell people, if their assessment did not change, their taxes aren't going to change. But a lot of times the assessments do change, and I think as even when I was on the town board in Beavertown, I wanted to be able to work with the increase in assessments instead of having to keep coming back and coming back. And the county's done a very, very good job. So I will get that number for you, okay?
All right.
Anybody else like to address the board? Okay, we'll close public comment. Go around the table with you, Bill, we'll go around this way tonight.
Just if there's any questions about those local laws, or if you want to take it up when we get there, but it was just, as you said, Scott, to clean up the town's local water law in terms of clarifying the, responsibility for maintenance of the water lines from the curb stop, basically. And then the other one was just some notice requirements under the telecommunications law that the town has, and just reducing the time frame. Instead of 10 days, it's 5 days notice for public hearings, and also not making the applicant provide the list of names of property owners within 1,500 feet. The board felt they wanted to do that themselves, and they get the information from the town assessor anyway. That's that. But if there are other questions about that.
Timmy?
Not much, normal winter time for us at the garage. Getting everything, rebuilding water pumps and getting chainsaws redone, everything we need for spring. For slow time, we go right straight through everything, get it all rebuilt, ready to go in the spring. Plowing, sanding, got it right now.
Okay.
Everything going good.
Okay, great. Mr. West?
Yes, I would just like to thank the board for going along and me being appointed for this year. It's been fun. I certainly want to thank you for the certificate here. It'll be something else I'm putting on my memorabilia wall as my wife calls it. I had an uncle that was in all kinds of stuff, and he was worse than that eye doctor down there, plastered anything, you go in and the walls are painted with certificates. So my wife says I'm a lot like my uncle, in more ways than one. But I want to thank you all. Thank you, town, thank you, people, and it's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathy?
I'd like to thank Dick for his year of service. It's been a lot of fun having you here. Would also like to say thank you, Scott, and thank you, Leo, for the service, and all the assistance that you gave me and the rest of the board for the last 24 and 8 years that you've been here, and it's been a pleasure working with both of you. I really don't have a lot. We'd like to also thank you, Tim. I believe you're responsible for the decorations, and they look great. Once again, you've done a great job with them. Just a couple of things. I don't know where we are with the water and sewer, if that's something you want to be discussing.
Don't have it on there, but what did you have a question
I
about?
didn't know if we were going to move forward with that. Are we moving forward with the estimate that we have received for the work that needs to be done?
Oh, yeah, well, that's,
Okay.
I do have that. I was gonna talk about that. I wanted to give everybody time to look at it, and
Okay,
see if you had any questions about it or any concerns.
okay. And any word on the
That's
truck or anything? Or
On what?
on the truck?
I'm gonna talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on my
That's all I
list.
have.
Okay, Gary?
That's really all I had too, and I'd like to thank Dick for his helping us out. It was a pleasure, it really was. A lot of insight, experience, and congratulations to both of you on your retirement. Wish us well. Come back and visit.
Actually, there were several projects that Dick actually took upon himself to get done for the town too, so is that gonna be your role now, Jerry?
No, he asked Kathy.
In addition to serving on the board,
He asked
In fact, I
Kathy.
have one here too.
sorry.
I have one more before the end of the year.
Kathy and I were still gonna do all that.
Call me anytime.
Cement work in the park and.
You already had your chance to tell.
I know, I'm sorry.
You have anything else here?
No.
Okay. Just a couple things
Happy
tonight.
holidays, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Just a couple quick things tonight. We did have an unfortunate incident with our maintenance truck. Dave Loop got into an accident and totaled the truck, so it was unfortunate. He's not hurt, thank God, and that's the main thing. But we are waiting for the insurance company to let us know how much we are going to be receiving for insurance money. We do have another truck picked out, and as long as we could get state contract price or lower, we could go with a local dealer. We do have a price from Riley Ford. We wanted to stay with a Ford truck again. They have given us state contract price on a 250. It's a similar truck. So we're just kind of, we got a couple of resolutions, or we're gonna do some resolutions tonight to allow us to purchase the truck once we decide how much money we've got. But we did get it at state contract price, and Riley was willing to work with us on that, so we think we're in good shape. We will have to get another plow to fit
So
that truck.
That plow won't fit, or it,
Won't fit.
Was it-
Different frame and everything, different frame width.
So,
so is that something that we can keep and sell, or?
I told the insurance guy I'd keep it. Because he said they'd only allow us like $300 for it. I said, if you're gonna allow that, we'll keep it, we'll use it on one of our town trucks or
Yeah.
something, I mean, we'll use it somewhere. Not for that much.
No.
Crazy.
so, we do have some resolutions to make forward with that. We did receive some insurance recommendations. What happens is obviously when you change insurance companies, they come in and they go into the buildings and the rec parks, et cetera, and they give you ideas of what needs to be fixed, et cetera. And I did get a listing of, most of it was to do at the rec parks with, some of the old swing sets need to be, the rubbers need to be replaced, and some of the chains were old and a little bit loose, so they want us to get some new chains on it, some sand underneath, make sure that we got enough coating underneath the swings, et cetera. So I gave the list to Dave Loop, our maintenance gentleman, and I'm gonna have him suggest to him that he go through the parts and go through the recommendations, and we'll go right back to the insurance company and run bill that we're gonna send to them first of spring, so we can get everything kind of back in order. And it wasn't a lot, I mean, it was just a few things that they wanted us to fix up at the different parts, so we'll take care of them.
That was all the recommendations were.
From Nymer, right. I can read some of them if you'd like.
No, that's all right.
It's just a bunch of little things. One of them had to do with this town hall. It's supposed to be inspected biannually by Hartford Steam Boiler. So we need to get a contract with them to have them come and inspect our boiler system. And then the rec parts are just installed, we'll get them taken care of. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Now, see, your jobs aren't done yet. We should, like always, we do I've been too busy, I haven't even thought about it, but we usually do a Christmas contest. And we give a prize to, 3 prizes, first, second, third place to the houses. We usually give a best tree and a best business board. And who would like to take on that? Basically what it is, you need to get a hold of some businesses and ask if they'll donate cash awards. And then go around, somebody needs to go around and just do the judging. And then we'll post in the paper who won. Anybody would like to take on that so that you can contact some businesses? And usually they're very good. I mean, we usually contact Duper Feed and Riley Ford and the hair salon, or any businesses that are willing to donate a little bit of cash. Chazy Hardware usually does sometimes. Don't raise your hand at once. Anybody?
Tell me what I gotta do, I'll take a shot at it.
Okay.
I hate to go around and dump.
No, I usually do it right on the phone.
Oh,
What I do is I call them up and say, look, we're doing a contest, and they say,
so what would I
Could
do?
you take first place? And they say, yeah, no problem, it's $75 cash. Say, no problem, we just gotta get your agreement so that we'll pick it up later. And we do the contest, and then we go pick up the cash at the different locations, and then we put them in envelopes, and we post who won the.
So you want me to go around and see these people, is that it?
You can call them or go see them, whatever.
Yeah, okay, well, give me the list.
Yeah, I'll work it up for you tomorrow, I'll send you an email. How's that sound?
That works.
Thank you.
Okay? It really, I did it all on the phone.
Yeah, I understand, I don't mind that.
I used to do it all on phone, and everybody was very generous, and there was no problem. Just a matter of doing it. That's basically
What,
all. Yes.
What about the judging? When is that gonna be?
I used to do it
Usually advertise.
like the week of Christmas. I used to get in the car and just drive through West Chazy, Scioto, Chazy, and go up and down the roads and try to, write down the address of who we thought decorated the best. And who decorated the nicest Christmas tree. Takes a couple hours to do.
So do you wanna pick a date? So you
Uh,
can have, don't you usually put it in the paper when?
Well, I like
the
to,
judging
I
is
usually
going to
do,
be?
I put it in the paper right after Christmas, the
No,
judging.
but when the
Oh,
judging
yes.
is going to be, so
Okay,
people
so-
know.
Why don't we just put that, we'll be judging the week of Christmas, somebody will be out and about, so who is gonna be doing that? Going around
You wanna
with
do
the
that too, Dick?
Yeah, I'll get a couple people to do it. That's no
Okay,
problem.
yeah, it's just a couple
I'll
hours,
just go
up
over
and down the streets. and-
the dates and rates here, what's gotta be done and when it's gotta be done with.
The other thing though, that Sue usually has, I think, a list of the people who won last year.
Yeah.
I do,
Yeah.
yeah, so we try to give it to
So it's not
different
the same
people every year.
people.
Yeah.
I can give you an idea for one last year, so we don't give them.
We do it by areas, different areas?
No, we
Because,
just,
I don't want.
Chazy is part of Scioto and West Chazy too, so we just say,
Okay, but
first prize
there's-
is this one, it could be somebody in West Chazy, it
All right,
could be
there's
somebody.
Ingerham in there too.
Well-
I don't want them to be neglected.
Yeah,
Now, it's a town thing, we gotta do the
That's
whole
right.
town.
that's right.
Right, you're right.
You even have to go way down to the landing.
There's trees.
Roger, you just starting to get to, what is it, 40, 50 cents a mile?
Oh, I get paid for this? Oh, I'm very happy, I didn't think I got paid for it.
You'll notice it in your check.
Yeah.
I'll get with you.
Okay, not a problem, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dick.
And before we go to resolutions, I just want to thank, everybody on the board. Has been a pleasure working with you. We've had some good people on the board. I mean, God bless Bucket. We had a lot of good years with Bucket. Mr. West, we appreciate your time. Kathy, Jerry, Sue, my right-hand person. Leo was phenomenal. I mean, the nicest thing about this board and working with you was that we got along. Very rarely did we ever have a little tip. I can't remember a time where we really had a big, large disagreement. But it was a pleasure working on behalf of the town and its residents, and I'm gonna probably put a little blurb on Facebook and a blurb on this, in the paper, just thanking people for letting me serve you, and I really enjoyed it, and ready to move on to other things at this point, but thank you very much. So we'll move on to resolutions. Oops, one more thing, maybe? Oh, yes, let's go back to that, I'm sorry. The Kluge situation with the zebra,
Yeah.
so did everybody get a chance to look at that? That basically is what it's gonna cost for them to put the whole plan together. This work won't be done obviously until spring, summertime, but they're willing to do all the drawings, give us all the specs so that we can go out for bid on it.
And it's going to cost that amount just to go up to bid.
Well, just to put the specs together and for everything that needs to be done, because there's a lot to it.
Oh,
Yes.
How's our budget for it?
Well, this will probably run into next year, so
Okay.
we've taken that into consideration.
Yeah, they'll come out of the water and sewer. We have a resolution to that, don't we? Yes. Anybody have any questions on before we go to resolutions? Any questions, concerns?
Now, the $6,900, that then, whatever the other bid comes in
To repair
to
it.
repair it will be on top of that.
Correct.
Okay. Do we have any idea, or do they have?
No, because, excuse me,
Yep, go ahead.
without the specs,
Right, they
Oh,
can't
no,
do
but
it.
even, right, okay. All right.
Okay, well, we'll go to resolutions then.
Okay, first resolution is appointment to the planning board, Donald Green, Donald Trey Green.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Jerry, you second?
Yes.
Counselor Devens made the motion, second by Counselor Dino. That reappointment of Donald Trey Green III to the 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2018. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West?
Yes.
Counselor Devens?
Yes.
Counselor Dino?
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel?
Yes.
Receipt of letter of resignation from Philip Baharnlaw, resigning from the Board of Assessment Review.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Counselor Dino made the motion, second by Counselor West. Any further discussion?
Do we have anybody else that's interested in filling that, or?
Not at this time. But if you have somebody that you know that might be interested, let us know. Maybe Mark might have somebody that you might know.
Okay.
One quick thing before we get done too, go ahead, Leo, I'm sorry. Supposed to announce that there's some refreshments after the meeting that we got for everybody just for Christmas, which we'll cook good stuff. So stick around if you would. Go ahead.
Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devon,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is local law number 5 of the year 2013, entitled Local Law Amending the Town of Chazy Water Code.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Counselor Devon, seconded by Counselor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devon,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is local law number 6 of the year 2013, entitled Local Law Regulating Siting of Wireless Telecommunication Facilities.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. West, second.
Yes, you did.
Counselor Dino made the motion, seconded by Counselor West. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devon,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Next one is a resolution authorizing supervisor to sign a work plan agreement with Earth Science Engineering PC.
I'll make a motion.
Go for it.
I'll second.
Counselor Dino made the motion, second by Counselor Devons. Any further discussion?
They're the only ones that have looked at the situation, correct?
Yes, these were recommended, and these guys were recommended by our water superintendent.
Okay.
They're very reasonable.
All right.
We trust his knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
West Chazy Light Fund budget modification.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Counselor West made the motion, second by Counselor Devons. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next one is a resolution authorizing supervisor to sign broker of record change for David Siskevich.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
You want to explain?
His insurance, we cover his insurance.
What are you working?
For Dave, correct. And it's basically switching it over to Northern where we switch the rest of our stuff, and they'll be the broker for the same it'll be the
Okay.
same policy.
All right.
They'll just be the broker.
I'll make a
So we have
motion.
one person to deal with.
I'll second.
Counselor West made the motion, second by Counselor Devons. Any further discussion on that? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devons,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes. Oh, I gotta abstain on that one. Yeah, we want to do a resolution on, after we find out from the insurance carrier how much we're gonna get from the old truck, a resolution to purchase this new truck, because obviously we need a truck as soon as possible. If we don't, it's gonna wait another 30 days, which
And we have no idea how much money we're talking about. What does the truck cost?
he looked it up and, we have the price of the new truck.
What's that?
Okay, we're thinking, from what Timmy told me, he looked up the Kelly Blue Book on what we should get, hopefully, on the old truck, which should be about 27 or 28,000.
728, right around that area.
And this new,
That's what we should get
That's what
from
the truck
the
is
old truck?
valued at.
The old truck.
Yeah, that's what it's valued at.
I don't know, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. The price of the new truck is $24,350, and that's a 2014. That's state
plow.
contract with no
The new
plow,
one is what?
$24,350. It's a 2014 model, state contract price.
Was plow for that about 5,000 or so?
Six. For a good heavy duty vehicle, stainless steel.
We can. Leo had a good suggestion, if you want to wait till the 23rd, it's not that far away, we can do a resolution at that meeting.
And we might know.
We'll definitely have more knowledge by then, so.
So are we gonna have them, or bring it someplace else and put a plow on that truck as well?
Yeah,
We'll have to, well, the thing is, we gotta let Tony know if we're gonna take it or not, but at this time, we have to wait a few more days, so we can find out what the insurance is gonna pay.
So if we don't make out with the insurance company, where is the money coming from?
That's a good question. We're gonna take about $1,200, $1,300 a piece from all of us. Because we don't have,
Takes care of my mileage for Christmas.
Do we have any,
Easy come, easy go.
has there been any thought of looking at a good used
We'll have to.
truck instead?
thing is, by the time you find a good used one even comparable to it, you're already at state contract for use.
Are we sure of that?
there's a big difference between retail and state contract price. We found that out.
Okay.
Many thousands of dollars.
No, I understand that.
Many.
Actually, that price doesn't sound that, you're gonna have 30,000 time you get the plow and everything on it.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just wait until the 23rd, meeting of the 23rd, and we'll do a resolution then, and we'll have all the facts in
So
place.
it make it a little easier to.
Yep. We'll forego those resolutions, you know?
Okay, the next resolution I have is 2013 budget transfers.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Counselor West made the motion, seconded by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devon,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes.
Next is payment of claims.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Devon's made the motion, seconded by Counselor Dino. Any further discussion? Roll call, Counselor West,
Yes.
Counselor Devon,
Yes.
Counselor Dino,
Yes.
Supervisor Spiegel.
Yes. The 23rd, what time are we gonna be meeting?
4:30.
4:30.
Okay, is that what you're gonna take? Okay,
And it will only be that half hour, correct? Because
Should be.
I have an appointment
Yep.
That's the 23rd?
23rd,
Monday. the
4:30.
23rd.
And then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Counselor Devon made a motion, seconded by Counselor Dino, during the meeting
For the town hall over there.
at 7:45.
You guys pass that right along. And it's money.
Yep.
Gotta find somebody to take over his job.
Why?
No,